attempted to do their job on the freeway to take care of the ice. When I first moved there in 97, they only had 6 snow trucks for the entire Dallas-Fort Worth area, which was over 12 million people. So we know not to drive when the weather's bad, but I guess since we have a bunch of people from California and Tokyo and all over the place, they think that they can drive on the ice when it goes down like that. But I really think, I mean, when I left in 2012-ish or something like that, they had 36 ice snow trucks for Dallas-Fort Worth for then 30 million people. So it's not like they've never not attempted to do their job, and it's always been shut down when the roads are like that. So whoever was out there were nimwits, first of all. Second of all, I just can't see them not doing their job, because it had to, somebody was texting and driving, it had to have been at least 1 or 2 driverless semis.
Yeah, do you think the driverless semis ran into each other, or ran into somebody, or did they run off the road?
Maybe a regular one slid, and then the driverless
because of the ice?
Yeah, the driverless ones were just driving, and they can't adjust totally for something like that, something like black ice, or, you can't.
Right, yeah, I have an acquaintance in...
You can't take it all out of the equation.
Yeah, I have an acquaintance in California who has a Tesla, and he was in Utah, and Teslas are self-driving, and he was doing his work on the car at night, and he hit a dead deer that was in the road and totaled his Tesla.
Yeah.
Thankfully, it was all right. So our theory is, coming to you from the mighty, mighty Midwest, that there were driverless semis that could have caused the pileup, the tragic pileup.
I mean, not the initial part of it, maybe, but somewhere in the middle. There's got to be at least one of them. Vehicles here, because our cousin's son is a Mr. Comic Con superstar at MIT, Detroit inventionist of that.
Yeah, so the theory is that
I've seen him following GPS forever from here.
That 2 of the automobiles were driverless tractor trailers, and they were and they were involved in some way.
Because if they have so many feds per capita here, and they want to do all this location GPS beacon tracking bullshit on what everybody does, where everybody spends their dollar, how they spend their dollar, where they go, how they poop, how they pee, how much water they drink, what they eat, do they exercise, why they have COVID, do they not have COVID, and they have driverless cars here and semis. If you drive enough around here or walk enough, you will see them. Then why wouldn't they have it in Dallas-Fort Worth?
Right.
In the drug high area highway of I-35.
Oh, so it happened on I-35?
Yeah, right by Watauga Denton area, right where I used to live.
How many days ago was the call of the illegal immigrants in the trailer, do you know? Monday? What day was the ice storm wreck? Do you know? Was it Monday?
It was yesterday morning at 6:30 in the morning.
So maybe one of the trailers had the missing 100 illegal immigrants in it, right?
They're going to find it already. You're so stupid. You're so stupid.
Well, and then they disposed of them because it was bad.
Just like Roswell crash, my theory is, since the people were so little, back then in the 30s and 40s, orphans, they did not have foster care. They had orphanages. And if nobody wanted these kids and they're out in the middle of nowhere, all they have to do is round them up, put them in these experimental things, and off you go. Because, I mean, the Nazis did all that medical experimentation with I mean, normal people, abnormal people, handicapped people, retarded people.
Mhm.
And I mean, it was just nonstop. So it's right around that time frame. I'm not saying, I do believe maybe a couple of them were aliens, but they were so tiny and so unidentifiable.
Were they found dead or they were
Yes,
alive?
they were found dead.
Oh, where
And
that
it
was
was so hush hush. So if you need somebody to test on, use the kids.
Yeah.
I mean, it was during the 40s. It was during the regime and stuff.
Yeah, that would make sense. Could have been the Japanese, because Japanese are kind of small.
No, I think it was kids that nobody wanted. That because they did not have foster care back then.
Right.
You ran the streets.
Okay.
Or you lived in a house.
Yeah, so that was a way to clean up the streets.
And New Mexico, if you've ever lived out there,
which I've driven around, there's nothing.
you can murder somebody and they'll never find them.
Yeah.
It would be very, very difficult to find them.
So it's just plateau after plateau, right? Just like,
Yeah, like the Three Amigos.
it's just like, I remember driving to Arizona and on one of those interstates up north in New Mexico, and you just drive for hours and all you see is a plateau after a plateau after a plateau.
What is the
You know, like-
plateau?
It's like a little mountain.
Oh.
That's like, it's
I mean,
a little mountain, then
with,
it's
with
flat
all
up
our
top.
drones and I mean, there's sometimes I hear airplanes in the sky, and you know it's so super cloudy, and the percentage of people in this area having their instrumentation license to fly an airplane at this certain time in this certain type of weather is probably next to almost nothing, and yet you hear the airplane going. It ain't no freaking airplane, it's a goddamn fucking drone.
Wow, yeah. Well, you know, Biden administration, one of the executives talked about, you know, how to target Trump supporters with drones and kill them with drones. So it's coming.
Here as well. Find this one first.
Over and out from the mighty, mighty Midwest.